So hi, ladies. Here we are. We're back doing the podcast. Look at us, mom-proof.
Yeah,
It's mom-proof.
Mom-proof.
The art, yeah. That's us, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Last time I checked.
Moving into season 2.
Yes, I know. The art of
Ooh.
being comfortable with being uncomfortable. That is a mouthful,
That is.
you know?
Leave them out there. We have selections of drinks from our.
I know. This is great.
I'm bothered about that.
Are you bothered?
Yes.
No. If you're going to be bothered, we're going to talk about it. Actually, what a great segue. So here's the thing. Here we are with our second season. Is that what it is?
Yes.
A new
Yeah?
series.
Yeah.
Series.
Series.
Okay. You know what? I must have been thinking I was on Netflix or something.
That's right.
So I'm going to pull that back around. Our series on staying bothered and what we're going to do with that and what we're going to talk about.
That'd be awesome. Because
It's a great follow-up, ending our graduation series
Mm-hmm.
and then just moving into staying bothered because so many of the things tie in together.
They do.
Well, because we especially want to make sure our kids see us. I always talk about this. I feel sometimes ad nauseum, like that we're modeling. We're modeling everything we do, even the bad
It's
stuff.
not overweight. They just graduated.
I
It's not over. So
know.
now we have to keep. We have to
Boom.
keep doing it.
We have to keep
Okay.
doing it. And what a beautiful way to show our passion for humanity with some of the topics I think we're going to get to talk about.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I know.
And staying bothered it really is a verb. I mean, it's about doing something when you're bothered about something. It's not just being annoyed, right? Because you got the wrong.
Irritated.
Yeah. Hopefully turn whatever bothers you into something that's positive because you're passionate about it. And that's why we're talking about this, because I think we're going to continue to touch on being moms and living life in a positive way, since you've just reminded us. Apparently we do have
Yes,
to keep.
it's not over,
Like, I'm not-
ladies.
I thought after
You're not tapping
graduation-
out, no.
I'm not tapping
done.
out. I'm
No.
not done.
No.
Dang it.
And it's funny though, because I think this topic is a great umbrella for modeling staying bothered in parenting as they go to the next chapter, but also modeling how we navigate the society that not only are we existing in, but our young people are becoming adults in, and then hopefully they're going to have offspring. We want to have, quite a connection and a purpose of why we're on the earth and how we can live our best life, the one we get. That was a little deep. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
but it's true. We were talking about when we touched on staying bothered about that. It's hard to stay passionate about some things that are important, but it is a way of living. It really is part of.
Can't be just a fleeting thing,
No,
right? Like give
it
an
can't.
example.
I mean, the whole like when I get up in the morning.
yeah.
I have to set my intentions in my head. I have to know what I'm going to do that day. I need to take them and I try and pray before I even get up out of bed.
That's really
There's
good.
a great pray app. I plugged it last time.
Okay. Can you
Plug
say
it
it again?
again. Pray.com.
Okay.
But seriously, set your intentions. Have things that you do as a ritual. So we want to share that
Yeah,
with
that's
our
good.
kids, right? They're about to go off to college, be scatterbrained, not have the schedules that they're used to,
We're seeing it already in summer.
right? They're
Oh my
already
gosh.
they're all over the
Cray,
place.
cray.
Yeah. So you got to calm yourself down sometimes. Take a minute.
I think that's a great, are you good at that, Sandra? Like meditative practice or intentionality? Or like what is your.
meditate to save my life, but because my mind is always going, I can never shut it
The
off.
adult ADD. I'm going to
But-
put my hand up.
Yep,
Sorry.
I
Trust
do
your
have a few things that I do that I've been doing for years. So one of them is make my bed.
Oh, beautiful.
I
It's
do
important.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandra, for saying
I
that.
I do lay in bed before I get up, and I have to have my ritual is get up, make my bed, get dressed for a workout.
Oh, I like that.
Because once I've set that down, then I know that I'm going to go do it. But if I lounge around, go drink some coffee first, then it's never going to get done. So I have a couple of things that I've done forever that I just know is going to set me out the door to do what I need to do.
That's great. And your kids have seen you model that.
Right.
And I think actually we're all three in that boat as far as modeling a little bit of the physical health to balance the mental health.
yeah.
Because that's what how I am about staying bothered about that. That it just will get me jazzed up, passionate, a little bit crazy sometimes.
But how
Yeah.
important is that? So why isn't that okay to be jazzed up, passionate about it? Because seriously, we have to talk about it. And that's
do.
why we're doing this, is to make sure that we can share some of our experiences, with kids, with other parents. I mean, mental health and wellness is it's imperative to our kids functioning.
Right.
I mean, I think, you try to come off as passionate, which can be on the verge, depending on your energy. I speak for myself primarily, can be off-putting or, create boundaries that maybe you're hoping to remove, but instead you're cementing them just because of the energy. So, I mean, I think it's a lot. Like, you have good energy. So I know we should save the whole topic, but let's talk about how you were influenced by like Buddhist monks and so forth, because that's really
that's so
original.
interesting.
I know.
And it does go back to Cambodia.
I know.
The first time I was there, I mean, the color orange came to me because I saw these monks walking across the grass, and it was so green, and their robes were so orange. It was in that moment that the little girl had asked me for $1, which later became 21 schools. And
Dang, girl.
Yeah, I know.
the tough part was staying bothered.
Really, was it?
How do you continue?
Was it?
I mean, it was. And I write in my book that one of the hardest things to do was wake up every day and stay positive when I couldn't get done what I wanted to get done. I mean, the country was so poor.
Yeah.
We made so much progress.
Yeah.
But there was so much more to do. So I felt like in seeing those monks, every time I went back to Cambodia, I went to the temples.
Oh,
every single time.
nice.
I saw those monks
Like a
pray.
touchstone. You
Yes,
just- that's
I
your-
sat and I quieted down. I really got myself together, and I took
We need
so
that.
much
Yeah, we do.
from those moments.
I do.
It's a game changer. It's because you can't. There's no AV in a temple in the middle of nowhere, and the monks have nothing but the robes on their back. So I think we really all can take something of that peace, and they're all very happy.
They do seem very
You know,
happy.
I know we can't really do that here. The hamster wheel doesn't stop. But before we hop on, I think having those moments to remind yourself of praying, being grateful.
Yeah. Ooh, the gratitude.
Right. Gratitude.
How would y'all
yeah.
rank your kids' gratitude level at this moment at post-graduation?
Ooh, that's pretty good.
You know, the
Okay.
money flying in,
Yeah.
the trips to Greece, to Mexico, wow.
Private plane. No, I
The
don't
party.
have a private. That would be great.
Dang
That
it,
sounds
girl.
amazing.
But no, I mean, let's talk
That's-
about their
that's-
gratitude right now.
yeah.
Anybody?
I like that question.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's they're so caught up with so many things coming their way that I don't think they've really sat down to be grateful.
I've gotten some kids thank you notes, so I
Yeah.
know some of them are at least going through
Right,
those.
Wait,
yeah.
is that you point?
Yeah, I'm pointing at your
thank you
kid.
note?
We're working
Yeah,
on
we're
ours.
working on ours too. Dang
Way
it,
to
that
go,
kid.
Avery.
Oh,
Good.
That's awesome. We're still trying to get there.
Same.
We're making the list,
Check
but that's what I'm saying. It's like they're so caught up in I got to go do this, I got to go do that. It's kind of reeling them back in. Let's send out the thank you notes. Let's do the things that we need to do to acknowledge that we've
There it
gotten
is.
these
Yes.
benefits,
Yes.
so that we can move on to the next thing
Yes.
without. Because the worst thing is forgetting or just taking it for granted and then moving on. You got to
Okay,
go back
can I just say,
and sit in it.
thank you notes are important.
Oh, I think
Yes.
so too.
Like,
the handwritten
parents,
one is still beautiful.
Make your kids do a thank you note.
Yeah.
Please.
Dying art. Let's
It
really
is.
focus
I
on
know.
that
It
with this
is.
graduation
Okay.
class of 2023. Everyone out there, ready, go. Because that should be.
Yes, for sure.
on,
But I'll
moms,
tell you
dads.
what, I don't know that my boys ever wrote one. They were horrible at it.
We've
I'm
got two
sorry.
boys
I
left.
love
We're going
y'all.
to work on it.
I know.
Yeah.
Sandra.
I love my boys,
Yeah.
but maybe that was my fault.
What's the gratitude level like in your
You know what? I think
perspective?
we're hanging right around 8. I'm feeling like
That's good.
we've had a few discussions of she
it is.
feels
See.
quite grateful to be having this fun right now. She's laughing. She's organized. I think and I actually
Let's see
caught
what she's
myself
saying.
over the weekend not texting her saying, "Hey, where are you going? What are you doing?" So I'm
That felt
I'm weaning
good.
myself off. It feels so
Good
weird.
one.
Like I wanted to 2 or
happening.
3 times on Saturday to just be like, "So what's up? Where are you going?" I'm like, "Oh,
Did you look at 360?
nope."
I'm going to give you a high five like your
Okay.
lady from the
Yeah.
other podcast.
Oh, Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins.
I love Mel Robbins, but she was trying to get everybody to quit drinking wine the
I
other
know.
day.
I was listening to that
I'm not
episode
gonna
today
do
at
that.
the gym, the wine
No.
one, and I
Yeah.
laugh every time you tell
I
me.
mean, maybe, I don't know. And that if someone's really bothered by me saying I like to drink, then we can talk
Oh.
about that later. But really staying bothered and doing something good with it, that passion
Because
is
I think
something
that's
I hope
really
we can pass
important.
on.
is when you say you're bothered about something, but you just kind of ignore it or turn the other way.
Homelessness, people
You
on
know,
the
so
street,
many
it kills you,
things.
right?
Yeah.
But how come that's not someone's bothered? Sorry, Seth.
No,
And
but
it
I'm
is
saying like
someone's, right?
Jamie was bothered about something she did.
Oh, yeah.
And then look what she's done with it,
Yeah.
you know, and just so many other things that we can talk about that we will talk about that we're bothered about. And it's not just talking about it for people to hear us. We're talking about it. And then what are we doing to change? Because
That's
it doesn't matter if we're saying we're bothered about something if we're not going to take
Action.
actions.
Maybe we can have some people guest on our series that, you know, feel like they are bothered and are currently or probably currently involved in the action that it takes to sustain the change of the bother.
Yeah.
Or maybe they have an idea and they don't know
Right.
how to put it into action.
And we could
You know.
brainstorm. Yeah. So if you're listening out there and you've got some good ideas,
Yeah, we're going to have a call-in session. That would be hilarious and fun. Definitely. I do think some takeaways, though, from today's sesh should really be if you're bothered about something, write it down, put it on a sticky note, seriously get it out of your head, and then decide if you're going to do something about it. Because if you're not going to do something about it and you're just going to be bothered and it's going to get to you, that's going to mess with your head.
no,
Like,
you're going to feel
don't do it. You know,
less than. You don't want to have something that's
don't
that's
just
like,
complain all the time.
right. Or
Everybody, I hate
there's a lot of
politics. I hate this. I hate that. Okay, well then do something about it. Let's talk about how you could do it either with someone.
yeah.
And again, this is modeling behavior with our kids, right? So
is.
don't just complain.
No. I think
Or
if
if
the
you
kids
feel something,
you
if it's really gets to you, then
that's your urge. That's
Yeah.
your sign.
And sometimes I think it's like what you said about Cambodia, that you felt like there was so much to do and that you felt like you weren't doing enough, right? But
and then
look
you came
how
back to
much-
America and still did it.
Right. But with all the years that you've been doing it, look how much you've progressed, right? And that's the one thing I think we have to remember in the fact that you're like, well, there's nothing I can do about that. But you can, even if you start within your family. Like if it's something that bothers you, well, start with your family and then grow out and build your community
Good one.
to change. And that just keeps expanding and growing, right? So I think it's easier if you just focus within your own little area or household and then have it expand out. But if you do nothing about it, it'll never grow, right?
That's
you have
right.
to water it for it to grow.
it's so true because people do think about doing things a lot, but who actually does it?
Right.
And it's okay not to do it if you share your ideas and you put positive passion towards whatever that cause may be. You know, not everybody can build an organization, but they can write a check.
Right.
They can
Right.
support. They can work a couple hours. You
Volunteer,
can,
yeah. Ooh, when we do the food, remember how fun
Oh,
it was?
that
We
was
feed
so
the starving,
great.
feed
Yeah.
the
Starving children.
Feed my starving
All
children.
those packets got
Dang,
over
that
to
was-
Cambodia.
that's
And those kids had a healthy meal every day because of that. It's
was
just
so fun,
crazy.
remember?
Yes, and we involved our
Our
teenagers
and
into
our,
it.
and, our,
Yeah,
and your young
kids,
guy
yeah,
was there.
to be able to participate in that.
That was really good modeling.
Yeah.
So we have meat to go with, I think, in this series. I think you'll have to hold us back. 10 may not be enough.
Well, we're not stopping. No, we want to thank our listeners.
Oh, do we have a question though to wrap? Are we close to wrapping? And we have that question that wraps our session?
Yeah, we need to have those questions handy. I think maybe we should share one other short experience of maybe when you were bothered about something
Not
and
just
you
riding on
actually
moped,
did
right?
Yeah.
Wasn't
like
flipping
not
the bird.
not pizza on the counter,
Yeah.
not the wrong Starbucks order, which by the way, did you remember your kids' Starbucks recipes?
Oh gosh.
Because that was really cute.
No,
Okay.
did you?
I did remember it, but
And
we'll
did you
go
make
over it
for
next
her?
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's cute.
Well, I think like one thing, like when we're talking about like you don't do anything about when my daughter was going through middle school and this whole thing with social media, it really bothered me. It really bothered me that all they did was take pictures of themselves, the selfies. And so I don't know, being in marketing, trying to be creative about the subject, I said, hey, let's start because also naive, I didn't know how hard things were to move along the system. I said, let's start a program and we're going to call it Any. So it's like, instead of taking a selfie, take an inner picture of yourself doing something good, whether it's charitable, making a new friend, and like came up with all these hashtags, and I thought I was so smart.
Who did you say it to?
Well, went to the Travis,
Travis
Travis
ISD.
ISD, and I was like, "Oh, I have this idea." They looked at me like, "Lady, like you need to go talk to parents yourself. Like we don't have, we don't
I
have a
think that's
platform for
great.
this."
I love it. I can't wait to just peel this back and hear more about it.
And then I started calling like stores like Sephora and stuff like that, and I got a couple people commenting back and saying, "Sure, we can participate and sponsor." But again, I didn't really know how big the
System.
the idea was, right? Like how much
Yes.
work it would take, and then eventually I got lost doing something else. But but those are
But
the
you
kind
did
of
something.
things. Yeah,
You were bothered about
Yes.
it. You
Yeah.
did something.
Yeah.
It may not have worked out exactly like you had originally planned,
Right.
but you didn't just sit on it. And sometimes ideas come back around, right?
Right.
So you don't.
Or she affected someone who you engaged with and you don't know what happened on the other end that was positive as it rippled
Right.
out. Yeah.
yeah.
But I was like, that to me would be something like, because we all talk about social media and how it really bothers, how it affects our kids and how much time they spend on it. But the one good thing that did come out of it was that my daughter got off of social media for like a year. And
Without
she-
you asking?
There
Right,
she goes
because
again.
it-
Dang her.
Well, it
she's
was-
so
No, it was that whole thing
actualized. She's
where
just
she
like-
said it was affecting her self-esteem
That's so
and
good
stuff.
that she
so I
heard
was
you
like,
say
She
it.
is so good.
well, at least I affected one person.
There you go.
a really important
taken.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only other bother, because I obviously would say mental health and all that, that interaction with just being driven by it since I feel like I have a starting date like 2018. It just got really big for me. And we'd had a couple of local young people take their lives in our community, and that was just whoosh. And I've never felt so locked in. So I think I can sense a little bit of what that CFC may have felt like. I mean, it is not anywhere near, but just all of a sudden there was this immediate like clarity of what was something I needed to work on. So that was cool.
Maybe it was like a path that that you needed to go towards.
It had been there had
Yeah.
always been parts of it, but when the two young men, we had those losses, I think and it was like within 6 weeks, it was like, oh, how much clearer can that information be to me anyway? So
Yeah. And good for you for actually doing something. I remember that whole time period with you. That was
you
very
helped me.
intense.
It was.
It was great, though.
It was. She saw I was burning.
This is
man.
just, I
Yeah.
am happy to know some badass ladies.
But
This
how
is
many
pretty cool.
lives have you changed that this didn't happen to more kids? Like
Sweet.
the
We don't
passion
know.
that you put exactly. But
thank
I'm
you.
sure that you have been effective.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a part of me that knows that. Every now and then a young person who's like a young adult will come up if they haven't seen me and they'll, oh my gosh. And then, tell my husband, she was so great. You get a little bit of it. It's like, wow. But that's not why you do it. It's more so to not have the numbers increase on
Right.
the,
Of
course,
on the
of
bad
course.
side. But
But it's also okay to say to yourself, you know what, good job.
yeah,
I did a good job.
totally.
And that's not easy for me
It
to
is.
say.
I bet it is.
So after 20 years of, seeing why can't we do more, I finally got to a point a few years ago where I did say, you know what, I've done good. This is
for
okay.
you.
I can't do perfect, but I can do damn good.
Excuse me,
And
maybe
good
that's
enough.
when your next chapter started being built in your life.
Yeah, definitely. It was
Mm-hmm.
that. So this is good.
I think it is good. I think that it's a good topic and that we can really expand on it. And then the more people we get to participate, then we'll learn and maybe we can help some other people.
Yeah.
Get sparked to take action.
Staying bothered,
Ignites.
doing something.
Ooh. What is your book's tagline? Hold on. It's because it's here, people, and I have to.
Yeah. Thanks for plugging us.
Staying bothered. Find your passion. Commit to action. Ooh, change the world.
And can you get it on Amazon?
On Amazon.
You can. You
And your
can.
website.
You can.
Jamie
And on my website, jamieemilio.com. Okay, how funny.
Okay.
Wrote the book to get it out of my head.
Yeah.
So let's end with our question.
Oh, the question.
Yes.
I love it.
I was
love
eager
it.
for that. Not to end, but the
No.
question's so funny, I think. You always come up with something good.
So I would say if we were to create a Netflix series, what would we call it?
To describe whom?
Ourselves.
Okay.
And our lives.
So is Netflix better than like Amazon or Apple?
all-
Is,
No,
like,
okay,
'cause
so if
what
you
if
were
I
to
want to be
create
like
a-
HBO
Yeah.
Max?
Yeah.
That's like a whole different level. I don't know.
I wanna be on Amazon
Oh my gosh.
Prime. No,
I think mine would be Just Keep Moving. Because
Oh, there you go.
The title of my book, but also I think I would create a series on how to overcome certain situations that hit you, even from childhood to adulthood. Because I feel like every day I learn something new. And even though I have my moments where I get down and, everybody's seen me crash and burn, I always feel like I come back so strong. And it's always because I just keep moving no matter what happens.
Yeah.
So that would be mine.
that might be a good series for us too.
Oh God, can we just do a podcast,
Okay.
one podcast at a time? Just keep moving.
That's good. I like it. That's a
love
really good
it.
answer, and it makes sense. And you're right. You'd be good at it, and you are good at it. I'm still thinking. I mean,
Okay.
I love this one that came out recently, and I'm forgetting its name because that's what happens to me. But it was about just life as this age, like being who you are at 56, and it felt so funny to watch it. Being who you are at 56. Being who you are at 56. Maybe.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I think you got it.
There it is. That's my series. And then it highlights different people who are 56 only.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, wait, can
That'd be awesome.
I know. I can have
tag
guessed
on to
57.
Because I just, I got a little slice of heaven in 57.
Oh, I thought his name was Eric.
Oh, that too. He's right there with it.
Okay, what about your series?
Oh gosh. Okay, so I feel like mine would have to be a combination of something like something with Tina Fey.
Oh,
But
I love her. We didn't say who's starring in it.
yeah, no, I'm just trying to think. It has to be funny but romantic and serious all at the same time. Like, what is
Carell.
just a combination of everything? Like, I
40-year-old
want to
virgin?
laugh. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I want to laugh every day. I want to take life seriously every
I
day
know what.
too. I don't want to miss something
You
wet.
could call it the Jamie Show.
How about yin and yang? That's not really. Oh, I feel like that's an inside joke.
Oh, it is. I just want to say, okay, bitch.
Yeah, no, that's how I felt. I felt like she just called you out.
Sorry, I'll tell you about it later. That's pretty cute, the Jamie Show. Netflix, HBO Max. Yeah, what's next, maybe? That would be the title. What's next?
Oh, God.
Okay, and that's a wrap.
Yeah, please. That's enough. Bye-bye.